Okay, the reason why I waited on this episode or this video is because when I noticed what yesterday's episode of YNR was, I said I gotta make a separate video about it because it really touches me, and I'm glad they did it like this, but I'll explain. Okay, so Judah Mackey, who plays Connor, has OCD, right? Although he's not fully diagnosed, but I mean he's close, right? Okay, so now for some reason he's having the tendencies, and they're trying to do everything they can to manage it, right? So the way they're going to manage it is to go to some kind of school or something, or inpatient something. And the reason why I like it is because number one, they're tackling the issue, actually tackling it, which I appreciate. And also, I was kind of hoping that they would mention this, but I wasn't sure if they would. But remember about a year and a half ago when Chelsea tried to self delete, and that was the storyline. And at first, like I I tend to believe that whenever episodes like this come up, I need them in my life because I was going through something personally before this, and then it happened like right after my personal thing happened, and then this episode came up, and I said, "Oh," so it gave me some insight. Um, so I was kind of happy for that, although not happy, but whatever. I was like, "All right, this makes sense." So I was kind of hoping that it would come back around again, but I didn't know exactly how they would fit it in. But I'm glad they talked about it because, see, the problem with that is the problem is swept under the rug a lot, and it's either not mentioned at all or hardly mentioned, or it's called the incident or the thing or the event or something. Like it's given this nice terminology, and nobody talks about it in concrete terms, you know. And then they either hide it or it's dealt with shame. Two things I don't like. So I like the fact that they talked about it and they used the word. They actually used the word and she actually acknowledged it. So I appreciate all that. And actually, when I heard that line come out of her mouth, Melissa Claire Eaton is one of the best actresses, I think, in soap operas. But also because when I heard the words come out of her mouth, I actually kind of cheered, and it was because, like I said, were actually dealing with it and talking about it. So I appreciate that. Um, okay, getting back to the storyline with Connor. Okay, the reason why this is important is because now someone else in the family has a history with mental illness. So therefore, if logic applies, you would think that the mother could help the son go through what he's going through. Or at least if she can't help, she can understand because she had her own issues, right? Okay, so there were two times where I was like, the dialogue. Because this kid actor refers to himself as crazy, which I don't like. And and then he says, "Can we not deal with it?" And the father, Adam, played by the wonderful Mark Grossman, says, "Okay, son, we don't have to deal with it today." And then Chelsea, being Chelsea, wants to deal with it, but then says, "Okay, we don't have to deal with it today, but we do have to deal with it." You know. So here's what I hope for this on this one. I want them to deal with it, yes, but not deal with it in 5 minutes. Like, deal with it whenever the kid's ready to actually talk about it and whatever, and make a decision about his health care and whatever. You know, I don't think that they should force anything in this storyline because if you force it, then you're going to feed back into the stereotype of, okay, well, we're ashamed of the issue, therefore we have to deal with it. so that we don't have to deal with the prying eyes of everyone else and all that other stuff, you know? So they need to deal with it at his pace. That's what I want them to do with that. But yeah, it really hit a nerve, but it hit a good nerve this time. Because yeah, it's just people need to be more open with those things, and the like mental illness and mental wellness and everything, and just be open with it. And the first step, I think, is to have it on your TV, and then hopefully you talk about it in your family or wherever, and you have an open, honest discussion about it. That's what I hope for. So, congratulations, YNR. Thank you very much for having this episode. I really appreciate it.